Shee and Gannon and the Gruagach. Shee and Gannon was born in the morning, named at noon, and went in the evening to ask his daughter of the king of Erin. "I will give you my daughter in marriage," said the king of Erin. "You won't get her, though, unless you go and bring me back the tidings that I want, and tell me what it is." That put a stop to the laughing of the Gruagach, who before this laughed always, and laughed so loud that the whole world heard him. "There are 12 iron spikes out here in the garden behind my castle. On 11 of the spikes are the heads of king's sons who came seeking my daughter in marriage, and all of them went away to get the knowledge I wanted. Not one was able to get it." And tell me what stopped the Gruagach from laughing. "I took the heads off them all when they came back without the tidings for which they went, and I'm greatly in dread that your head will be on the 12th spike. For I'll do the same to you that I did to the 11 king's sons unless you tell what put a stop to the laughing of the Gruagach." The Shee and Gannon made no answer, but left the king and pushed away to know could he find why the Gruagach was silent. He took a glen at a step, a hill at a leap, and traveled all day till evening. Then he came to a house. The master of the house asked him what sort was he, and he said, "A young man looking for hire." "Well," said the master of the house, "I was going tomorrow to look for a man to mind my cows. If you'll work for me, you'll have a good place, the best food a man could have to eat in this world, and a soft bed to lie on." The Shee and Gannon took service, and ate his supper. Then the master of the house said, "I am the Gruagach. Now that you are my man and have eaten your supper, you'll have a bed of silk to sleep on." Next morning after breakfast the Gruagach said to the Shee and Gannon, "Go out now and loosen my 5 golden cows in my bull without horns, and drive them to pasture. But when you have them out on the grass, be careful you don't let them go near the land of the giant." The new cowboy drove the cattle to pasture, and when near the land of the giant, he saw it was covered with woods and surrounded by a high wall. He went up, put his back against the wall, and threw in a great stretch of it. Then he went inside and threw out another great stretch of the wall, and put the 5 golden cows and the bull without horns in the land of the giant. Then he climbed a tree, ate the sweet apples himself, and threw the sour ones down to the cattle of the Gruagach. Soon a great crashing was heard in the woods, with the noise of young trees bending, and old trees breaking. The cowboy looked around, and saw a 5-headed giant pushing through the trees, and soon he was before him. "Poor miserable creature," said the giant, "but weren't you impudent to come to my land and trouble me in this way? You're too big for 1 bite, and too small for 2. I don't know what to do but tear you to pieces." "You nasty brute," said the cowboy, coming down to him from the tree, "'tis little I care for you." And then they went at each other. So great was the noise between them that there was nothing in the world but what was looking on and listening to the combat. They fought till late in the afternoon, when the giant was getting the upper hand, and then the cowboy thought that as the giant should kill him, his father and mother would never find him or set eyes on him again, and he would never get the daughter of the king of Erin. The heart in his body grew strong at this thought. He sprang on the giant, and with the first squeeze and thrust he put him to his knees in the hard ground, with the second thrust to his waist, and with the third to his shoulders. "I have you at last, you're done for now," said the cowboy. Then he took out his knife, cut the 5 heads off the giant, and when he had them off he cut out the tongues and threw the heads over the wall. Then he put the tongues in his pocket and drove home the cattle. That evening the Gruagach couldn't find vessels enough in all his place to hold the milk of the 5 golden cows. But when the cowboy was on the way home with the cattle, the son of the king of Tchaikovsky came and took the giant's heads and claimed the princess in marriage. When the Gruagach should laugh,